After working with over 300 online coaches, helping them start and scale their coaching business and onboard dream customers, I've learned that there are four major characteristics and skill sets you need to have if you want to be really profitable and successful with online coaching. So my job in today's video is to help you understand those four major skill sets and hopefully provide more clarity on what you need to be focusing on and improving to get to the next level. All right, so the first skill set is mindset. I know that sounds a little cliche, but man, when I tell you that mindset is like 70% of the battle when it comes to growing a business, I really, really mean that, right? So what do we mean by mindset? Well, there's a couple of elements I like to personally break down. The first thing is when it comes to mindset, you got to realize it doesn't matter if it's online coaching, drop shipping, social media marketing, it doesn't matter what you're doing in this world. Having a strong mindset and conviction that you're going to be successful and believing that is ultimately what will decide if you're successful or not. In most cases, the people that you see doing really, really well right now, where you personally want to be, they're not much smarter than you. They're not any more talented than you. In most cases, they are just hardworking and maybe they've just been at it a little longer than you personally see. So what happens a lot of times in coaching is that people get started in, they start trying to put together some funnels, start creating some content, and start to put together an offer. And when things aren't aligning right away, they immediately start to question themselves, doubt themselves. They have this thing called imposter syndrome where they're doubting if they can even deliver the results to the people. And there's a lot of issues that start to arise when you're just getting started. This is not just with online coaching, though. This is with just about anything. And the biggest thing I want people to understand is that you have to have a strong level of conviction that no matter what roadblock you face, you know you're going to come out on the other side more successful than when you initially started. Okay? In a lot of the cases, I look at business as a puzzle piece. Right? If you've ever had one of those, 100 pieces of puzzle boxes, you know that there's a ton of different individual pieces to the entire puzzle, and it's your job to kind of spin them around, test them, see if they connect with certain pieces, and it's just an endless game of trying to put together an entire puzzle that you eventually will come to the ultimate goal and the end of the road where you're going to be successful, making as much money as you'd like. But you can't get there unless you go through the hardships, the testing phases that come along with growing a business. The biggest thing that, since I've worked with so many different coaches, the biggest thing that I've always I kind of work with a lot of those coaches is that they don't really care about the end outcome for each individual task that they need to do, whether it's creating content, whether it's sending messages, whether it's fulfilling to their students. They're not so caught up in what the end result looks like. They're more infatuated with the day-to-day inputs that they need to put in every day to get the results that they need to, right? So for example, if you know that you need to upload 4 or 5 pieces of content to your brand every single week, it doesn't matter to these people how many views they're getting, how much engagement they're getting. They're just going to keep doing it. And they're going to be less bothered by, how the end performance looks and more infatuated with how consistent can they remain. Right. And that leads into the next point of mindset, which is consistency, right? The biggest and most successful people, they're just consistent for long periods of time. Again, most people are not smarter than you. They're not more gifted or talented than you. In fact, there are going to be people out there making way more money than you right now that are less qualified simply because they're consistent. They're more consistent with you than you. I deal with this all the time, and I see a lot of people talk about this all the time when trying to get started in coaching or scale their business. They're faced with so many little small nuances and inconveniences, and they use that as an excuse to stop what they're doing, right, and stop progressing in their journey. Right? They'll make some progress in their coaching business. They'll get some momentum, and the moment they get a little sick or something else pops up, they'll use that as an excuse to give up or stop or put a pause on things. And they don't realize that you're taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back, and that's just inevitably going to lead to you just giving up altogether because you're conditioned to believe and see a short gratification, right? Like not a lot of people are aware of the importance of delayed gratification, and you're not where you are right now. You're probably not wired to think that, hey, I can keep doing what I'm doing, not see results and still progress forward. Okay, like that's a skill set you have to kind of work towards and build towards and build that level of stoicism because it's hard. I remember when I first got started, if I didn't see certain results at a certain time, it was very easy for me to change my strategy, give up, look for something different. But I realized quickly that you're just really setting yourself back every time. Okay, so first major skill set to have if you want to be really successful is a sharp mind, right? You have to come into coaching really passionate about what you're doing, right? What your end goal should be and how you plan on helping people. Because you're going to be faced with roadblocks. And if you're looking to just do coaching to make a ton of money and not actually fulfill and help others, I'm sorry that this is not going to be the business model for you. All right, next up is marketing. Now, when it comes to being good at marketing, this is a skill set that you can easily learn, but there's some intangibles that I find to be very consistent with the most successful coaches I've personally worked with, and it's their ability to be able to show up on camera and be confident in that process. Now, of course, if you're just starting out and you're not good at that skill set, you can develop that over time. But the most successful coaches can appear on camera when it comes to creating short form content, long form content, and really do a good enough job captivating their audience. Okay, so for me, marketing and the skill set of marketing is less about the strategies and the ads that you can run. I can personally help my students do that, but there's some intangible features that come along or characteristics that come along with certain really successful coaches. I find that they're really they have a lot of charisma. They're hardworking when it comes to improving their content, and their content doesn't have to be, and their marketing doesn't have to be top of the line, but you can see that there's a level of conviction on that camera when they're talking to their audience and trying to build that following. They do a good enough job really speaking to their target audience. They also do a good enough job with market research. They really understand their target audience and what keeps them up late at night, what keeps them motivated, what gets them, interested. And because they do such a good job understanding their target audience and their expertise, they do an even better job of creating content that speaks to them, right? So marketing is super important, right? You can be taught how to launch ads, you can be taught funnels, but just being able to speak to your audience, captivate them, really understand the messaging that they resonate with the most with, and show up on camera in a world where video is king, right? Most people, they connect with you as quickly as possible with video opposed to like a long form email or text message, right? Or DM conversation. Right? When you can really see and understand and hear the way someone thinks, that is important. And a secret and a trick that I find to work really well is that a lot of these people that are really successful and they're good at marketing, they're able to kind of build their own path, right? When it comes to their niche, they're good at looking and understanding and identifying the market, seeing their competitors, and standing out against their competitors. Right? Especially since I've personally worked with a lot of people in fitness, health, some really competitive niches. I've helped them really scale in those competitive niches, largely because, we have the right system that works, but they themselves as the client they're really unique in their own way, right? And they do a good enough job sharing their stories, their trials, their tribulations, and not just being an encyclopedia of regurgitating information all the time on the camera, right? They have a personal touch through their marketing. So you don't feel like you're really being sold a product, but you're being sold the opportunity to work with them. And that's where people will pay you a ton of money for coaching is if they connect with you and they feel like there's an interpersonal touch, they're going to be way more likely to want to work with you. Third is sales. This is going to be super important, right? So sales is very, very, very important when it comes to building a coaching business, right? You need to know how to sell people. Now, here's the trick with what we teach our students to do. If your marketing is really good, you build out really good systems, you don't have to be an expert in sales, right? You don't have to be a 1% sales rep to be able to close and build a good business, but you need to have a good foundation and understanding when it comes to knowing how to sell prospects on the phone. A lot of coaches, they focus so much on creating their offer and figuring out what the right marketing system is, but a lot of them forget and drop the ball when it comes to understanding sales. The coaches I've been able to work with and help them scale the fastest have a good foundational skill set when it comes to sales. Now, I, again, teach my students how to do all these things and improve and tweak their sales skills. But coming to the table with a good foundation, maybe you've read a few books, listen to a couple podcasts, or have some type of background in sales, your job as a coach and being able to scale your business is a hell of a lot easier if you're good at this, right? Knowing how to handle objections, knowing how to understand sales psychology, right? Tempo and tonality and pacing, and how to create a good, unique pitch that gets your audience to think to themselves, man, this is a no-brainer. I want to sign up right now. These are all important things. And the thing that crushes a lot of the coaches that struggle is their inability to accept money and ask for money over the phone, right? So this becomes one of those things where it's, again, imposter syndrome, where they feel one of two things. One, their target audience doesn't have the money, which in most cases is just not true. Or two, they're not confident in asking for more money. They feel like it's a burden, or they don't, in some cases, don't feel worthy asking for higher ticketed prices. I'm here to tell you, with the right skill sets and of course with the right marketing, you can definitely ask for $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7,000 services where people are happy to pay that in full or even in payment plans. But you need to be able to navigate a sales call, have proper sales cadences to actually get people through the door so you can deliver amazing results. And last but not least is good leadership skills. So if you're someone that wants to avoid being a one-man, one-woman show where you're monitoring everything inside your business forever, you're definitely going to need to hire some team members. And with team members comes the need for leadership skills. One of the first hires you need to make inside your business is a appointment setter. An appointment setter will be a commission-only team member, and their job is to generate appointments for you through your brand on Instagram. And if you close that lead that they generated for you, they'll earn a commission anywhere between 5, 10, and I've even seen some people generate 15% commissions based off of each closed deal that you collect. So that's going to be important because this is going to be a very important piece of your business, right? They're going to be responsible for getting leads on your calendar and getting good qualified leads. So one of the biggest things with leadership skills is the importance of having communication. You need to have daily meetings, communicate with certain end-of-day reports and KPIs or key performance indicators. There's a lot of functionalities that come to place here when it comes to building out a team, especially if you're managing 3, 4, 5, 6 team members. Now, the way I like to personally grow a coaching business is keeping it lean, where we only have maybe 2 or 3 team members at most. But either way, you're going to be responsible for other people's income, other people's ability to grow and develop in the role. So you have to be able to lead your team. One of the best things that you need to understand as well is being able to take your company goal and vision and spread that through the mindset of your employees. You want to make sure that they're not there just to collect a paycheck, but they have a genuine passion and desire to help you push your business along. They look at the business as an extension of them, just like you do, right? Everybody would love an employee to act as if it was their own business that they're running and operating. And with the right leadership skills, you can invoke that level of emotion and desire through all your employees where they're all ready to push the business forward with you. And there's no better feeling as a CEO getting team members and employees working very hard every day to see your business drive and grow. All right, guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. There's tons of more information like this on my channel. So if you're looking to start, scale, or grow your coaching business to the next level with the most effective marketing system on the planet, feel free to book a time down in the description. You can set up a call with either me or someone from my team. We'll walk you through how we help people scale. Or if you're wanting to learn a little bit more information, go through and scroll through some of my other YouTube content. It's a lot of value and information you can pull away from that. Either way, guys, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Take care.